So in this demo, we're going to take a look at converting our images into normal maps. I like to use this tool. It's an NVIDIA tool, and it converts the normal maps for you. You can get the proper plugin from NVIDIA tools. There's a 32 and 64-bit version for Photoshop. So once you download and install it, and you go to the filter panel, it'll be under NVIDIA tools. You can just go to normal map filter. And what's nice about this is if you leave the default settings and you hit 3D preview, it gives you this little wall, and you can kind of rotate this plane, and it'll kind of go in and out. Now NDO, and there's other programs out there like Crazy Bump that'll sort of give you a little bit better of a preview than this, and they'll give you a lot more options. But in respect to the free ones, this one's pretty good. So let me go ahead and increase the scale to about 5. And what you'll notice is you'll see it here. Now, if you click Add Height to Map, it'll add additional bump resources to it. And you want to kind of look at this and say, alright, well, average RGB will pop them out. Biased RGB will push in. And that's what we sort of have going on here. So if I go ahead and hit OK, that's where your real preview comes from. And let's go ahead and let's give it a second. I'm going to pause the video. You can see it went ahead and converted it for me. Now, if I want to really intensify it, I can actually duplicate this and just select multiply. Or I'm sorry, overlay. And it'll actually double up the amount of height information here. So I'm going to go ahead and do File, Save As, and I'm going to save this as a Targa, and I'm going to name it CityBlock_N for normal map, and then hit Save. It's going to ask me to write over this. We don't want to do 32, we want to do 24-bit. So if we go back into Maya, we can actually test this by going to Render, High Quality Render, and under bump mapping, we select that file. Make sure that we're under tangent space normals, and we can kind of look at it this way. And it doesn't look terrible. I mean, it looks pretty good. And we can do the same conversion if we jump back into Photoshop for our other image. And again, you can see it's pushed in. I'm going to hit OK. Just save this off as base _N. Alright, right back into Maya. I'm going to select that face, go down to Material Attributes, okay. Now the real test is how this looks inside of Unreal. So do we have to calm it down a little bit because there's a lot of information here, a lot of noise. So let's go ahead and fire up UDK. Alright, so now that we're inside of here, I'm going to go ahead and make a new I'm going to go ahead and make a new package. So I'm going to click Import, and this time I'm going to go to Documents, Models, Environment Pieces, Wall Segments, and I should go ahead and export this as an FBX. Let's try that again. Alright, let's create a new grouping called wall pieces. And let's put it under the package wall pieces. And we'll just, again, name these meshes. Alright, let's drag this into our scene. Let's scale that up. Let's place it behind our wall, or behind our dumpsters. If I hold Alt, I can move it. Controls can snap it. And as long as that corner is segmented, I can snap them pretty good together. Looks like my pivot's just a little off. Either way, let's go ahead and set up our materials again. I'm going to import in my cinder block, texture, OK to all, my normal map, make sure I mark it as normal, under TC, OK to all. Alright, let's start with that first. Let's create a new material. Holding T, and left clicking. Now we have our diffuse. Holding T. Now we have our normal. Let's click check. Let's go back into meshes really quick. Selecting my material here. Go back to meshes, double click it. Under 01, I'm just going to click here so it loads it in. Oh, sorry, textures. Back to textures. Select my material. Load it into 01. Actually, that might be the base. Yeah, it looks like that was the 01 is the 0 is the base. There we go. Doesn't look bad. There we go. Alright, in the next video we'll take a look at creating more of a sort of a shiny material like these walls are wet.